Time to show how I actually do this shit. It's completely uncomplicated, but it's necessary unless you want to keep buying new knives every couple of years. They're very useful tools, but they also require a lot of maintenance to operate at a satisfactory level. They do come in contact with some nasty shit, and the edges are very fine, so they do get dinged up very easily. This is just what I do whenever I've used them in order to avoid a more involved sharpening job, while at the same time extending their lives somewhat. Waiting until the edge is completely rounded off is generally a bad idea. First, I wipe them down with some regular-ass universal kitchen cleaner, making sure there are no bleaches like sodium hypochlorite or hydrogen peroxide present. For bare metal, it's usually enough to just wipe it down with a soaked paper towel. For this sandpapery powder coating, it's better to spray it directly onto the blade and let it sit for a few seconds before wiping it off. Now for the main attraction, the stropping. There are proper strops on the market, but my bootleg guitar strap and 2x4 setup works just fine. Just give it a few strokes on each side to realign the bent portions of the edge. Depending on what you've been doing, this can take anything from a few seconds to 20 minutes. There are some stubborn dents here that are gonna take a bit longer to flatten out. Shit like this is why Netflix came into existence in the first place. I just keep going until I'm no longer repulsed by the sight of it. Lastly, if the blade has a 90-degree spine, that needs some maintenance every once in a while too, as it can get pretty dull. I do that by simply pulling the spine along the side of a whetstone. I use the side because I don't want to create a groove on the primary surfaces. Those need to be as uniform as possible when using the stone for its intended purpose. I also like to work it over with some 400 grit sandpaper, just to get a smooth surface on the spine. That is not necessary, that's just me being a fucking weirdo.